Hi, welcome back to the channel. So some stuff has happened since the last time. The V12 Jag XJS has started, and some parts have been ordered. HT leads, what's it called, rotor arm, distributor cap. So we're going to go there today, check it out, and see what's going on, and hopefully we can get some engine sounds. See you there. So we've arrived, and work has been undertaken on the V12 Jag. As you can see, some bits of the engine have been painted black and red. VHT, I think, has been used liberally.
The new parts are red, so I know which parts have been changed.
So we've got the breather. That's been totally cleaned because that was building up pressure in the engine. And then we had oil shooting out of the seal down here. What's it called?
Front crankshaft seal.
The front crankshaft seal.
So we got the engine running. You'll probably put that on this video.
Okay.
So
everyone can see. So if you have a look in the little box in the window, we'll have the engine running there. But yeah, so you pulled that out with a, what's it called, a crank seal puller?
Right. So I needed to get new rotor arm, new distributor cap, and new. So there we go. Here's the old distributor cap. Aid said to get a new one. I mean, I probably could have cleaned that up, to be fair, but I got a new one anyway. I mean, it's pretty old. And then underneath the distributor cap, you have the rotor arm, which spins round, firing off the different cylinders. So I've got a new one of these, new distributor cap, and then new HT leads for everything. Obviously it's not all put back together yet. That's the next one. And then over here we've got the throttle body. That's probably dry now. A throttle control, which will go over here. See, then that controls the throttle. Here we have the stamp, which I was about to tell you about. So this is the stamp switch. It's knackered. Got it working, but it'll probably break again with epoxy because I put epoxy on it. Got a new one. You can get the official Jag ones are 30 quid. If you know what they're called, you can get 50 for 4 quid. But they're made for CNC machines and 3D printers, so they're not as strong. So then I went and got a actual one. The proper Jag part number, and when you actually look at it, it's made a lot stronger. Now that goes under here. So when you're at full throttle, if you stamp the pedal down, the cable hits the little lever on it and shifts it down a gear. So if you're overtaking someone and you just stamp the pedal, it drops down to the lowest gear it can do at that speed. Wow. So then you get full, so that needs to work. That's why I bought that one.
So it jumps forwards.
If you get back around to the engine, you notice there are gaps in it. So the cruise control is missing, and the air compressor is missing. But that means I can mount a axled pulley arm here. Yep. Run it off the crankshaft, which did run the aircon. Yep. So I have a wheel here where the aircon was, and then it will come back and carry on spinning here. And then I can take the wire up to the supercharger.
And then have pipes coming off it.
Because the supercharger, if it was here, it'd be way too far forwards, I reckon. It needs to be a bit further back on the bonnet.
Right, so just lose the cruise control and lose the aircon.
It didn't come. It's a £2,000 Jag. It didn't come with aircon or cruise control.
Good.
So that's less stuff to worry about.
Air filters.
So yeah, new air filters. I'll show you. I'll send you the pictures because the old ones are about 40 years old, and one of them looked like a caught on fire when they'd got it started with the Easy Start.
Oh yeah, the ether.
So just put new filters in. I mean, it's a simple thing to do. I've got plans for the air intakes, but I'm not doing anything until the car's running on the road. Once the car's running on the road and insured, that's it. It's registered historic now, so no MOT, no tax. If we come down here, we got, so when we did get it running, it was pissing oil all over the place out here. The main crankshaft seal. So I've got one of those in order. There's meant to be a local English one, but by the time I got the...
Is it OEM or is it remanufactured? Because the OEM ones are notoriously shit for leaking oil.
It's a new one, it's the same part number.
Right.
But yeah, it's once I got the tracking, it's coming from Germany, and then it got delayed because of weather conditions, so it won't be here till Monday, so I can't do that. But yeah, I cleaned this up. It was just caked, absolutely caked and all everywhere. Also had to get the belts off, and you have these levers, tension levers, that you can loosen, and then it moves the pulleys, and then you can, with the alternator starter motor, I just took the pulley off, and then this one, even though I loosened it, I had to hit it with a hammer to lower it down.
Okay.
So it's going to be fun to get it back on. Now the interesting bit is how do you get the harmonizer, the balance wheel off that? And you get the nut off the crank, that's it. Because obviously when you turn a crank nut, when you turn the nut, so yeah, this bit came off, you bashed it so they're stuck together again now, but to turn that, you've got to have the crank not move, because every time you turn it, you turn the engine over. I looked at all these videos online, read up an advice. ChatGPT said to take out a spark plug and fill it up with nylon string, so then it would jam and then I could undo it. And I thought, well, that's stupid. Other people say you can stick a screwdriver in it. That sounded stupid. There's a couple of other ways that sounded stupid. And then I saw this old hillbilly. What he did is he got a cargo strap like this, attached it to the chassis, and then obviously you do it around the crankshaft, but you wrap it round and round like that. Then as it turns, it jams and jams until it can't move. So I wrapped around it like 3 times, and then yeah, used a my normal ratchet and a scaffold pole, and it was pretty easy. It came off. I couldn't believe how easy it was. And then to put it back on, you then wrap same strap, but you wrap it the other way around. So when you turn it the other way, it tightens on itself and gets stuck.
Similar process to removing an oil filter the old-fashioned way.
Yeah. So yeah, that came off. So I'm still waiting on the filter. I mean the seal to come. Once the seal's back, I can then put the crank pulley back on, put all the belts back on. I've got new belts. Kept the old belts because. So yeah, new distributor cap.
Did you label them all off when you took the leads off?
I've got documents, paperwork, and photographs.
You recorded where each lead goes?
Yeah, I know where they all go.
Do you spray your leads red?
Yeah, that's why they look shit.
Right. Why don't you just buy red leads?
Because they're like 40 quid more, and they were going to take 2 weeks to be handmade.
What the hell, man?
So I was like, well, they look great when I sprayed them. But obviously, once they unplugged them, plugged them back in, unplugged them until I got it right, they now don't look as good. But
so you labelled them all up before you took the other ones off and replaced one at a time?
I took photographs and I drew a diagram.
Right, okay.
Yeah, I've got a diagram. Okay. What's funny though, my diagram, my special diagram I made, it just didn't make sense until I went back to the Haynes manual, and there's 13 on there. I made one extra and then wrote in a number on it. So yeah, I don't know how I did that, but there's 6 sparks that side, 6 sparks that side, they're all labelled up, and I managed to invent one that doesn't exist. Wow. It really confused me when I had a few beers and I was trying to do it. Then I got the look, I've labelled and photographed everything. So
okay.
you know what's going on and stuff. You gotta, because even if you write it down, like even the polarity of the front ignition cord and stuff. Yeah. So yeah, new spark plugs, all 12 of them. Some of the videos people say that normally people don't bother changing these 2 sparks at the front because they're really hard to get to because there's an air comp in the way, but there isn't. The ones at the back are right pain. The housing this throttle body sits on, you've got to take it out to get to the spark plugs. Now you can reach the front bolts, but the housing itself blocks the back bolts. So I don't even know how they put it on in the factory. Now when I got my hand down there, they're only finger tight. The last person only tightened them back up.
Right.
But I just tightened the front ones up really hard because it's impossible. Without dismantling the entire engine, coming in from the back with a spanner, you can't get them in. So, well, you know.
And roughly how old were the spark plugs that were in there?
They look like they had been changed.
Right.
The NGK
ones. The engine oil was quite clean as well.
Yeah, no, they were new spark plugs, but they were completely caked in black crap from
a badly running engine.
Yeah, from just trying to get it going. Now we've got a new battery. Here's the original battery also. Effectively, it's a Nissan Micro Peugeot 106 battery. It's just it doesn't even hold its charge, and that didn't help. If you come around that side also, please. The battery tray for the original battery is the right size for a Nissan Micro battery. So I got a new tray and I've bolted it down on the arch. Now that old battery had 250 cold cranking amps. This one does 900. It's got 1,000 amp hours. So yeah, this was 80 quid off eBay. It came quite quick as well.
Yeah, you can have your CCTV cameras inside and out set up and running all night long with that thing.
Yeah, that's an insanely massive battery.
Would be an idea to connect up a leisure battery next to it so you can leave it running.
You can leave the other battery there.
Put a small leisure battery in there.
Yeah, and use that to run like
your alarm system and your CCTV system.
Or I could use it to,
a fridge.
Yeah, have a fridge and a cooker or something.
Yeah, got a fridge in there with an inverter.
But yeah, so that's to the side there, so I should still be able to fit the 2 oil tanks in the boot there. That's the important thing.
Fridge and an inverter.
Mounted the window switches and put a bit of hardboard in there, then rattle canned it black.
And then the armrest has also been rattle can black as well.
Yeah.
So that shows that the seats can be done too.
So yeah, I'm going to do the seats, but I think the seats I'll actually use leather dye because the rattle can will just come off.
Come off, right.
I scraped the steering wheel as well because I was bored. But I'm going to buy a new steering wheel. I like how the nut sticks out so it will go through your chest when you brake.
Good.
I need some stickers. You can get them for me from AliExpress or Temu. No airbags. We die like real men.
So progress has happened and yeah, it's coming together well. Looking forward to hearing it run. But yeah, we'll have to wait. Yeah.